Greetings, salutations. Hopefully you're doing well. Bucks about to play. I can tell you, we ain't gonna be here all night. Also, the Fangs Exchange is right after, so and that whole thing is still going on there. So you probably hear it. Hopefully you don't. But the streets to talk. Like y'all were loud. You were boisterous. The streets have said so much. We can't really hear anything else, right? Like we don't hear about any of the other teams doing anything. Nothing. Which not surprising, right? Like when you're losing games, you fire a coach, kind of part of course, right? Basketball, we'll talk about that on Sunday. They play December the 15th. At least the guys. Girls, they play UF after that. But right now, all eyes are on the hill, right? And the streets have talked. Little loose episode, but we're gonna speak to the truth. You already know what's up, what it's about to be. Fangs Up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does!
And that might be the knockout punch.
Greetings, salutations, family. Hopefully everything's going well for you and yours. Hopefully your team wins tonight, especially if you're a Bucks fan. Look, that's about all I got for you on that. Like I ain't gonna lie, if you ain't cheering for the Bucks, I can't help you tonight. All right, that's the Bucks and the boys. Those are my teams. FAMU track opener was last week. They're on break. Do this favor to yourself. If you're a FAMU alumni, go on Instagram. Go look on the main FAMU page. Go look at some of our athletes. Go look at some of our non-athletes and enjoy graduation season. I want to make sure I give that to you and everybody else. I'm not going to lie. As a person who graduated from FAMU but didn't walk across the stage, right? I reserved that right for when I was a little older, right? But when I did, I didn't walk across stage till I got my master's. I was glad because it was a little more personal. It meant more to me then, right? Enjoy it, man. Like, enjoy the moment. Enjoy that feeling of accomplishment. And enjoy watching those kids, man. Watching them start something new and be so excited. Because, man, that's something, man. You know, to hear your name or to see your name in there and say, yeah, I graduated. That's important, man. So definitely want to encourage every Rattler out there. Go do that for yourself. It's a good little couple minutes. If you need to search it out, you know how Instagram is. You search up one thing, all of a sudden you're inundated with it. But I can promise you, it's worth it. It's absolutely freaking worth it. So, but we ain't gonna hold y'all too long. Fang Exchange, I believe they're going tonight. I was trying to see if I could pull up on Instagram without it completely freezing the system. Yeah, it's pretty nice, man. Here we go. Again, and let me put on full screen mode. I do listen to y'all. Y'all was like, you brave for showing your page. But this is some of the stuff you get, man. And we ain't even gonna do the whole dog and pony show with you with the screen title. Well, we will. But this is what some of the stuff you see, right? Check Instagram. Like, I don't even know this guy, but give him a like. And congratulations, man. So make sure y'all can see this live. That's what we do. Congratulate them. It took that much time. You see some people who've been on the show before here. And that's organic, man. You know. So go check that out. I told y'all Look, you hit it once, come back through, hit them with that. Congrats, Rattler. That is part of the FAMU experience, at least for me. Like, one of my favorite parts about being a FAMU graduate is that, like, going through, seeing the next group of Rattlers come through, not knowing what they're going to be, but just wishing them the best, right? Like, isn't that amazing? Okay, so that's just me. We will run through the normal course of the show. I don't want to be too bad, but the herd spoke. Yeah, y'all definitely made yourselves heard. You made yourselves known. I don't know any other way to say it, right? Like, the FAMU league said what they want, and they told the people. And now it's on them to do something about it, right? So yeah, like I don't know any other way else to say it. Like, the FAMU heard definitely spoke, made it clear. Also, Rattler Boosters, if you haven't already updated, hey, come join, come through. What's up, South Florida Rattler? We see you. What's up, Tamara T, little baby? I see y'all. Sorry about the late notification, but I did do the show with St. Clair. Really great show. Hall of Famer, FAMU Hall of Famer, Albert Chester, beat writer for the Tallahassee Democrat, award-winning Gerald Thomas III, award-winning writer for the Tallahassee Democrat and Capital Outlook, St. Clair Moraine, and myself. Talked about this situation. It was good. So catch that tomorrow, 6 o'clock, Hallelujah 95. You can catch that on iHeartRadio. So go check it out. And if you like me, I'm watching the Bucks in the background. Also, if you are so inclined, I still ask, hey, we saw what Mr. Kinsey just did. Let's get us over the top, man. Let's get us to that full 10K. Get up out there. If you know somebody, add us to your Christmas list, right? I didn't put it out there for the given day, but go put us out there, man. So, but Streets has talked, and all the news is about FAMU football, right? We're seeing where pretty much every day since Colsey's been relieved of his duties, right? I don't like to say fired, but it kind of is what it is, right? We've seen every day pretty much, except for one or two, where the announcement has been that the coach has already been decided and they're just waiting, right? I've seen some people say as early as today, Friday. I know me, I'm kind of on Team Friday. Cause don't get me wrong. My mom and dad spent too much money on my teeth for me to put on some goals. But if I had some goals, I had some FAMU goals, and I'd be like Willie, because y'all know FAMU, we really don't care about nobody else's feelings, right? Like we your feelings are cute, but we don't care. We'll take your coach. That's Hampton. That's Prairie View. Just saying. So we've also, and little baby, you said it. They're not just talking; they're screaming. Because we read tea leaves, right? We read the room. We notice where you see players hit the portal. Saw Jet hit the portal today. I hate that for him. I hate that for us as a fan base. We seen the quarterback from Albany State hit the quarterback. We seen what looks like a lot of Albany State players hit the portal. Aren't we all asking and saying the same thing? Like, is Quinn Gray coming? Is he not coming? Okay, I'm just gonna say this, and I'm a Buck fan. Somebody should have worn white. Either the Bucks or the Falcons. Both y'all. Ugly uniform combinations. Like creamsicle against the Black Falcons jersey. The Falcons should have worn white. Just the people want Ed Reed. No. You want Ed Reed. You want Ed Reed. I want a proven coach. I need somebody to win. And I need white for the Bucks to hold that ball like he wanted. I want a fan grill too. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, if I didn't know that gold teeth was so bad for your teeth, I would consider doing it just as a gag, because I know how bad they are. Though I can't even do it as a gag, and I don't like metal touching my teeth like that. Look, I'm with you, Larry Sergeant. I'm just saying. Benefits of having Quinn over Ed Reed, who would do a lot more based on expectations. What does Ed Reed bring that Quinn doesn't? Besides the name. We have yet to see any of these NFL coaches, besides Prime, really bringing in money. They bring money from the fan base. I would argue Quinn Gray is going to bring more money from your fan base. I don't know who he's bringing outside the fan base. Just saying that. I'll let you have it. Argue that in the chat, though. Who does he bring for? Probably a guy from Albany State. I mean, nobody from the FAMU staff. Like, can we say that, though? Like, let's just go ahead and operate in this universe where we might see a guy named Quinn Gray come to FAMU. I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he's not. Keith is not saying either way. As y'all saw last night, Kelvin even tricked me, because either way, coach number C was going to be my choice. But I thought it was the guy from West Florida. So that's why I was kind of making Uncle Ruckus jokes. I know y'all was going to be like, oh, he just like him because he's... And I was like, I don't care. I want the best. But if I can get Quinn Gray, I'll take him. Again, we've seen this. But I think that would be interesting. I'll say this. I would bring a guy like an Ed Reed as a defensive coordinator. I would definitely do that. That would be as far as I take him. That's just me. Because he's got no experience there either. Like, I think that's a place. I think a secondary coach, I think that's great. I just think a position coach for a guy like that is a great jump in, because all of a sudden it's humbling. And it's not that you're trying to humble him. Look, I'm not trying to humble a noob. But what I am saying is, defensive coordinator might be a little ambitious at a FAMU for your first time. Not saying that you couldn't do it. I'm just saying that would be an interesting undertaking, considering what we just left, right? But where have we seen that at? Look, you provide a school where anybody besides Jackson State has done that, and I'll go with it. I ain't seen it. So, with me, you got to bring some numbers, some data. Don't just say it. You better bring it. But I think the streets have said it loud, right? And I'll be honest. Shout out to Troy, Fat Mouth Sports. He did write a nice article about Marvel. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I had to kind of not put up the other graphic I had, because I had a graphic of a magician in a hat. And unfortunately for me, as a black man, I struggle with seeing black men wear top hats, because it goes from being a part where he's a magician to where he becomes more of a minstrel. And so I was like, that's too dangerous. We give a lot of credit to Marvel. You got to give credit to Michael Smith. Michael Smith is the athletic director right now. This firing's got his name on it too, though. Like, for everything you can want to say about Michael Smith or not want to say about Michael Smith, Mr. Magic Michael Smith has bailed FAMU out of so many problems, or brought FAMU so many situations, good ones, that it's not funny. Like, let's call a spade a spade. If what we think happens in the next 2 weeks, Michael Smith, again, as the athletic director, is going to be responsible for making another great hire. Like, and yeah, That's why I couldn't do it. When I tell you the graphic was fire, it was like a black man with a top hat, magic thing, pulling a rabbit out of his hat. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that. Can't do it. But look, I heard about this transaction coming down the pipeline back in October. I'm just gonna say it like here. Did a certain person on a certain show you watching not consistently put out that warning that if you ain't winning, that you won't be working, and that it wouldn't just be a simple X's and O's thing. It's a point of you have an administrator that needs to win the people over. Like, could it be that power is making the decision or waiting until all possible candidates are done? Look, I told y'all already, Keith likes proven winners. I'm okay either way. If it's Jackson or Gray, Keith is good either way. And that's not, and I told y'all before, I'm not so big on anybody but Colsey thing. That wasn't my steez. I like I said, really until the Valley game, I was like, okay. I kind of mentally accepted, like, okay, back, I get it. But now that we out there, I'm just saying, man, I love it, man. Hey, man, look, keep it up in the chat, Doc. I'm telling you, we've had that discussion before. We're gonna have some call lines soon, man. More than welcome to call in. You can yell about it for about 2 minutes and let the people hear you. So, but we'll see. Barry's not a consideration. Nah. I'll say it like this. When we were looking for Colsey, yeah, Chennis Berry was definitely on my list. But I'll say this. Man, we talk about buyouts. Like, Google his salary. I'll leave it there. He's already at a cool 300, according to Dr. Google, and I knew that. I've set 300 as the line, my personal line for FAMU. I think you're going to spend less. I think even with a Quinn Gray, you pay more than you were paying Colsey, partially because of this year's success, but you're going to pay less than you pay Barry because he hadn't done what Barry's done. I think if you were to offer Chennis Berry this job, you're talking 350. Like, winning matters. I said it with Kelvin. I'll say it with you. Yesterday's price is not today's price. And I know for me personally, right? Like, once I get good at something, if I like you and I knew you before, I can charge you the price I used to charge. But new people got to pay the new price. We're new people. You got to pay the new price. You got to pay to move him. You got to pay to move that family. I'm just saying, for me, I think a Chennis Berry puts you in a spot where athletically, you're having to have a visionary leader to do some things. I'm not saying John Davis isn't a visionary. I'm saying he doesn't have the experience yet. And so with him lacking in experience, I think he's going to be able to maybe bring some connections and experiences from other schools. And that's just speaking wildly and hoping a lot. But that's just me. Am I talking about basketball yet? I ain't gonna lie. Give me about 2 weeks. Honestly, when they play Albany State, I'll care again. But some of these games, I'm not there yet for FAMU basketball. women's basketball, I'm not even there. Like I passed by them, Larry, but I didn't spend no time there just because they don't play until the 15th and the 17th. And before then, we'll have a whole nother show, won't we? Yeah, the 14th, before we do our little Christmas break. I will tell y'all, Christmas week, nothing to probably to that Sunday. So Christmas Day, no show. I will be in the friendly confines of Tallahassee. So I'll be hobnobbing around the city, visiting some friends, extended family, and the likes. So will not be a show on Christmas Day. Not this year. I'm going to value family and relationships a little bit more than, yeah. But, nah. South Carolina State don't roll like that. Let's see. Turn of the year. Had the big game with them beach folk. Okay. I ain't gonna lie. Wouldn't be surprised if Cookman made some noise. Like I've already said this. Outside of football, in any sport, I really don't hate them. It's a fun rivalry. For me, it's a rivalry. It's less of a. There's no school I hate. There are schools I can't stand. UF is on that list of schools I can't stand. UM I can't stand. Cookman, they get on my nerves. Like they're like little brothers to me, and I don't have little brothers, so it's like, as the youngest kid, it's kind of like, oh, that's my sibling over there. Like, just saying. So question, do you believe that your podcast and other family podcasts somewhat negative portrayal of Cozy led to his firing? I won't say I led to it. I think after the fact, you're kind of hearing us be a little more harsh. I do think the Monday Night Review stuff had some impact. So, and so I definitely, I won't say we're without any, we ain't innocent. I'll say that. Yeah. So I guess to say the long part, we own a piece of that. But I'd also say this, I'll say this, I can't speak for everybody. I know it's a media room. We consistently make sure that we were respectful. Like, very seldom did Cozy get multiple questions. And if there was a question he asked us not to ask, we didn't answer it. We didn't ask it. And as I pointed out, like that Alabama A&M game, it's clipped a little bit. Nothing crazy. Cozy didn't say nothing out of pocket. But he chided us a little bit. And I clipped it because I was like, somebody's going to hear that and they're going to think something funny. And I definitely want to make sure I protect my coach. So do I think we had a part to play in it? Likely. But do I also think that a lot of the other people on social media, because I'll be honest with y'all, I don't create GIFs. I don't create those GIFs. Like, I use AI to do the show cover. I own that. All the show covers, that is Canva AI. Trying to put it up there. Look, y'all done warn me something, so learn me something. So this right here, AI, all day long. But as far as making the videos and stuff like that, nah, I don't make those things because I understand. I'm not in such a vacuum that I'm gonna say whatever, right? I've told y'all before. I've had coaches walk up to me and say, "Hey, we watch your show." I'm like, I appreciate that. I've had the Coach Shoop say it, Gokon said it, track coach said it, Coach Beal said it. I've had multiple FAMU coaches tell me they watch the show. But what I will say is, because of that, I'm also aware that on the sidelines, I'm not 6'7", 300. So as much as I aired out my frustrations, notice I very seldom say somebody just flat out sucked or couldn't play. Um, I would say that we should rotate players or try to offer some meaningful suggestions. But I'm very cognizant of the fact that, as Deion Sanders used to say, I'm not hard to find. Like, the players walk past me, the players see me. Like, it's not one of those things where you say stuff and you just like, well, I'm never here. Nah, like, I'm on the sidelines. I'm behind them. I'm walking past them. Like, I don't just say stuff like, man, F this kid, F that kid, da da da. Like, I never let it get that personal. So there's that rational piece of this. Of I played football too. And I remember what I was like when I was 18 years old. I know what I'm like at 40. And I also understand that in this situation, I'll say this: the warnings of you're being watched were not just warnings. It was understanding what it's like as an outsider coming to a new place and understanding that your boss is an outsider. She's come to a new place, and the easiest way for her to get us on her side was to do some moving. So yeah. But yeah, man. So I don't think I got him fired because I didn't necessarily say fire him. I said some things were fireable offenses, but I struggle. I can't remember when anytime this season I said fire insert coach's name. I know I've said it'd be hard for him to come back. I remember saying I would like for him to come back just for the financial reasons. But I don't remember, and I could be wrong, where I said insert coach's name needs to be fired. That's just me though. I could be wrong though. And yeah, look, for me, Coles was family. Like, he was here. Like I told y'all, Marva, his success was our success. Like, you can't lose those kind of games in those kind of places, man. So, what's up, Gail? Now, I will say this. I do love, and that's my pop's caller. I told y'all, look, I had to stop doing the show from a cell phone for a reason. But my concern with the current front runner is a little bit of that, though, right? It is this is a son of FAMU. We'll treat you just like you're an outsider. Like, we'll love having you here. Like, let's not lie. A lot of folks are screaming, run it back, Cozy. Run it back. And I remember, he came on the show. I was like, Coach, how you feel? I don't need to see none of that stuff I saw in Canada. It was tongue in cheek and some chiding, but it was also that point of I went back and watched, and I was like, okay. But I have some of those questions with Quinn as far as like, hey, all right, you got a nice run at Albany State. You kind of built something there. If you come here, what are you going to build, right? Because you came there kind of a rebuild. To me, it wasn't this level of a rebuild, though. But you also didn't have the transfer portal the way you got it now. And I think that's something that's really big with the transfer portal being what it is, that you have a coach that has that experience, right? I mean, he fouled the fool out of Mike Evans. And you got to have a coach who can take advantage of that. I think Quinn can. And I don't want to lean on the fandom. Like, there's a lot of me. I turn off the fandom at a certain place, right? And I'll be honest, The place where I don't turn off my fandom, and you definitely caught it, was when I addressed Colsey. Like, you probably heard me more than anybody else call him Dr. James Colsey. And that was me being a fan because I wanted some respect on his name. I wanted people to respect his academic expertise. You understand? I got a PhD as a coach. Did it work out? No. But again, he's family. I'm never rooting against family. So when I'm looking for what I'm getting for Quinn, though, I want us to give him every opportunity that we would have given to the previous administration. And I think part of the blessing Quinn gets, if it's him and whoever it is, I shouldn't just say Quinn, because then that locks it in, and that's like, well, you said Quinn was going to be the coach, but you don't care. I don't care. Whoever the coach is, one, when you come in, your family. I'll give Colsey credit. One thing he did right, his press conference was right. That first day, he did it right. He came out there on the field. He said he was wanting to embrace the community. For the most part, he did. Like, he wasn't somebody that just didn't welcome the community. It's just, it didn't work out, right? I think the benefit of having a guy like Quinn come in, he understands what FAMU used to be. He understands how FAMUans are. But he can talk that talk a little bit. It's going to be interesting, though, because a lot of things we say with Ed Reed, you get with Quinn Gray. Like, Ed Reed has no ties to the state of Florida outside of the University of Miami. Quinn Gray played for the closest NFL team in the state of Florida. We've seen where that matters. When we talk about Deshaun Jackson, that matters because he played football in Philadelphia, the closest major city to Dover. They have what equates to a classic between two players who play for the Philadelphia Eagles. That's something you get with a Quinn Gray, where you already have the JRE alumni. That's huge. But now, not only do you have a JRE elite thing, right? But if we can get Quinn to make this thing last long enough for them to finish that stadium, all of a sudden, you're now bringing Jacksonville into this. And one of the things the Jaguars are doing, go pay attention, go watch their social media. They're bringing back old Jaguars. Guys who played for the Jaguars. It doesn't matter if it was Blake Bortles or somebody who was less famous. They're bringing back former Jaguars. And they're trying to get you to support the Jaguars. But you'd be a fool to think that they're not going to, or they wouldn't. Hey, FAMU's going to be here on Saturday. Jaguars here on Sunday. Come bring our boy home. This is our guy. This is a Florida guy. He's from South Florida. He went to school at FAMU. He played in the NFL with the Jags. Like, that's why you bring a guy like that there. You can't compare the two because they're NFL legacy, but what they meant to the region is completely different. You can argue Ed Reed all you want, but he don't mean that much to us. He means something to you. He means something to you because you fighting for him. He don't mean that much to us. We don't have them ties to him. We're not Miami fans. A lot of them are. I'm not. He was great. But again, when I'm looking at the marketing side of this and when I'm looking at what these coaches are doing and the ones that do make it big, that's what you're getting. Like, I think that's what's huge. And I think Quinn Gray is going to bring that if it's him. I think if it's not him and it's Tremaine Jackson, I think you get something different. You get somebody who got out the mud. He built it up everywhere he went. Valdosta State, he rebuilt it. I've told y'all once, I've told you again. Go look at a film of a Valdosta State football game. It's not well attended. It's just not. It's a 10,000 seat stadium. They're not burning it down. It's a good program, tradition rich, but attendance poor. Now he's at Prairie View, tradition poor, but in the past half decade, put up some good numbers, right? So now all of a sudden, you got something there. So when you kind of finish this out, you're getting a good dude who's proven and who's rebuilt programs everywhere he's gone. So I think when you're looking at this, what you're now seeing, and this is why the episode was called Bucks almost scored a touchdown. Somebody got hurt. The herd spoke. You see a leader, school leader, who realized I'm here despite what these people wanted. You ignored these people. I didn't do nothing. I just applied for the job. They asked me to apply for the job. And one thing, I want y'all to make it clear. Marvin has said this like 17 times. They asked me to apply for the job. I wasn't over here hunting. I was chilling. I was working. And they told me to apply for the job. And I was like, all right, cool. She's not beholden to them people that voted her in. Because what did y'all show her this quarter? Again, Marvin's first 100 days. 100 days is 10 more than a quarter. Marvin's been in for a quarter. They can't raise no money. What did Marvin say she was here to do? Raise money. So guess what? Boo-foo. Buy us. F them. Because they ain't raising no money. They brought me here to raise money. I thought, it was going to be all good. But y'all can't raise no money. Nah, man. Let me go on and go where the money resides. And y'all said y'all want this man fired. All right. I saw the memes. I seen the videos y'all created. That lady sitting up there telling y'all, like, it's terrible. Like, you're definitely not winning over that squad right there. So, now I will say, we do got some winners on campus. FAMU volleyball. Hey, when you do your next donations, don't forget about them for the Rattler Athletic Fund. They're winning. Softball season coming. They're winning too. You don't think it's hard for them to see what's going on at Bragg Stadium? It's full and we losing. And they get told, man, I don't know if you got it. And then they winning championships, hosting championships, and it's kind of empty because everybody in Orlando watching them lose. Like, that kind of stuff has mattered. And little baby, you're right. She definitely watches socials. Like, she listens. Like, y'all, excuse me. She listens to the herd. She listens to noise. If y'all didn't catch that part of the board of trustees, meeting, some of her responses were direct rebuttals to what people said. Now, were they clean and concise? Nah. But were they, this person said this, let me try to respond to it? Yeah. She watching y'all. She listen to us when y'all making fun of her hair and making fun of her clothes and everything else. And you notice I don't really get on that too slick. I don't get mad at anybody who does it, but because I understand you trying to be funny and we all joke around, but I'm also not gonna call a lady outside her name, right? I ain't gonna pick on her hair like that. Like, I just not. Some of y'all want to make some stuff. Okay, that's funny. But everything said ain't for me, right? But I will say this, and I needed Mike Evans to catch that. When you have a president who is showing they're listening, you might want to take advantage of that. Like, because we definitely had a president before where I ain't gonna say he didn't listen, he didn't react. Where one of my interesting things with Marva, I want to see her reactions. Like, you had your 100 days. You got to read the room. And you said you kind of listen. And I can't say you haven't. I don't love that deal with that school that was done. I'll say that. But what I will say is, hey, how about this? We're going to jump on the academic side of this. Work on a dentistry program. Break it. Because all of a sudden, like, work on bringing some of those programs here that keep us relevant, right? Can you be an earpiece? Because if you're just going to listen to the noise, we're gonna kill you. Like, just FAMU people are tough. FAMU people are rough. But if you can kind of hear some of the lamentations, I'll give you a good Bible book. A lot of us don't even know. A lot of y'all don't know what that means. But listen to some of the lamentations of the FAMUans, right? Because somebody made it very clear. They're like, she's intrinsically motivated to protect that law school. Like, that's her retirement package. Some of y'all may not see it like that, but credit to the person that gave me that, right? Now it's time to build out for the other stuff. Listen to the lamentations about the hospital that the city of Tallahassee charges TMH $1 for per year, that the community of Tallahassee helps pay for, that FSU's trying to take over. Like, some of that stuff matters. And I think in Marva's first quarter at FAMU, like, we shouldn't have just called her first 100 days. That sounds cute. It's Q1 at FAMU, quarter one at FAMU. What you've learned is, when it comes to FAMU people, we mean what we say. We say what we mean. Don't always believe us when we say we're going to pay for something, but always believe us when we say we won't. Because a lot of times when we say we'll pay for something, we have good intentions, but life happens. You're still dealing with 40, 50,000 heirs. But when we tell you I ain't paying for it, oh, we mean it. That was what you learned. When you saw that, and I guess to go back to that point earlier from Mr. Sargent, right? Do I think the podcasters got Cozy fired? No. I think the money got him fired. I'll say it again. I think the money got him fired. Because what starts to happen when you start dealing with money people and business people is that, and Scotty just dropped it up there saying prodigal, it's not the right term, that Quinn Gray is coming back. I'm sorry. And again, I spent a little time at church. I used to be a campus minister. We gotta look up the word prodigal right fast. Like, prodigal is not a good word because of the word. Words have meaning. Like, you don't ever call me the prodigal son, because sometimes I am not always the most responsible. But the word prodigal, according to Merriam-Webster, I don't know if y'all can see that. And it means profuse, wasteful expenditure, reckless, yielding abundantly, luxuriously, often used with off, prodigal, one who spends and gives lavishly or foolishly, one who has returned after absence. That's the last one, though. And that's number 2. He's not prodigal. He's returning after an absence, and that's the only way he's the prodigal son. But he's not wasteful. In fact, I would argue if Quinn Gray is the guy, Quinn Gray is the opposite of the prodigal son. He's the other son, but he just never got jealous. Remember, before I get y'all up out of here, right? This is one of the ways I tell y'all, we talked the other night, just cherishing your parents. And my dad calls me like every couple of days. And my dad gave me some respect. And he was like, your Bible, probably maybe a little better than I do. I was like, in the story of the prodigal son, remember they're brothers. You had the one brother who stayed home. He was dutiful. He took care of everything. He did all these great things. He did things the right way. The other one was the prodigal son, the wasteful son who left, spent everything else, and was eating slop with pigs. And if you don't remember Jewish customs and Jewish antiquity, and even today, pigs are nasty. If you've never been around pigs are nasty. I still eat pork. I make some fire ribs. Anyways, he comes back, and his father forgives everything. And the other brother gets jealous. Quinn leaves FAMU, but he never gets jealous. Quinn goes to Lincoln High School and coaches, but he never gets jealous. Quinn Gray goes to Alcorn State, but he never gets jealous. He goes to Albany State, and he doesn't get jealous. He's not the prodigal son. He's the son that just had to go do his job, and he had to grow up. And he's back home, more than likely. That ain't quite prodigal. So, yeah, that's Keith's little 2 cents in his frustration with it being prodigal. He's not prodigal. He's not wasteful. He just went away. But he didn't leave us. He stayed in Tallahassee. He stayed rooted in Tallahassee. Even though you didn't see him, what's the line? Hardly home, but always repping. That was Quinn. Now, if he becomes the new head coach, I think you get a good couple years. We'll see where it goes, but it's gonna be interesting. So we can get up out of here and put a wrap on this, right? Because, yeah, and I accidentally locked that door, so that blonde head lady gonna come in a minute. And my wife actually, she's not like bleach blonde or anything. She has sister locks, and of course, just the natural process. Some of them do blonde out, right? But I'm gonna disagree with anyone who says this is a bad hire. It may not be the hire you want. And I'll be honest, wasn't the hire I was on, right? But as I stated before, I came around to the herd. And in doing that, I was able to see that Quinn's a good option. And he's probably a better option than most quarterbacks and coaches for FAMU. But he does give me some things I hope. Going back to the question, and I'll flip to the other side of the ball. Offensive coordinator, keep Burris. I would keep Burris. That's just me. I think why, right? Was he spectacular this season? Nah, but he had his moments. But as Kelvin said last night, and I've been kind of saying for a while, he's been coaching and leading a quarterback who doesn't fit his system all season. I think when you get two quarterback coaches in there, you're going to go from a place as a program where your quarterback development goes from here to there. It's just that idea of having another expert in the room. Like, I know for me, I became a better teacher when I got around people who could teach. And then when I kind of understood like some of the other stuff, I was like, oh crap, like some of the stuff y'all are doing like academically, man, that's smart. I think that's the benefit you get. I think a lot of the rest of the staff obviously probably gets let go, right? Defensively, I would call Corey Fuller. I mean, you've done it before. I don't know if you feel safe at Florida State. I played on that. Just because I think we all see the window and the writing on the wall that Mike Norvell's not long for that university. I take advantage of that. And that's just me. I think defensive backs wise, I talk to a guy like Pat Watkins again. You know, another local guy, Tallahassee ties. I believe he was coaching at God B. Obviously played at Lincoln High School. You have familiarity because you also have a kinship with Lincoln High School. That makes a difference, just for me personally, right? I think that's a decision you make. I think the rest of your staff, you're pretty much filling with Albany State guys. Like some of the guys at Albany State got to stay there, not because you're trying to help that program, but because they're trying to help their career. Like if I'm the offensive coordinator there and you're leaving, I want to be a head coach. And it's not about you, but I want my shot. And if you're leaving, I'm taking my shot. I can't let the opportunity pass me by, right? And that's just me. I believe that he's family that went away, honored his craft, honed his craft, excuse me, and now it's ready to talent. Yeah. This is Quinn Gray's, again, he's the other brother because he stayed home. And, you know, the prodigal son story always just ends with the dad welcoming his son home. We never really talk about the other piece or what could have been. What if the other brother just stayed? Came back, took over. Quinn Gray came back and took over. He was offensive coordinator at FAMU. Now he's potentially the head coach. He ain't the prodigal son. He's the other brother. And he just did right. And he got inheritance. Because the other brother eventually gets his inheritance too. So, yeah, man. Like, yeah, I know I love FAMU irrationally. And I appreciate all y'all, man. So, Fang Exchange is about to come on. Scotty's about to come on. The Bucks are still winning. I'm about to take a NyQuil, try to get the rest of this foolishness out of the system, and hopefully cheer the Bucks on to a win if they don't blow it. So here's hoping. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I need gold teeth in FAMU in tomorrow. I need gold teeth FAMU in tomorrow. Like, hey, that Celebration Bowl you got, that's cute. But we got a new coach. I don't care about nobody but the Rattlers. I'm telling y'all, I ain't no thug. I ain't no gangster. But I tell you what, when it come to mother FAMU, for FAMU, yeah, definitely. I'll take your shine. All right, y'all. Look, man, we will see y'all Sunday. We'll be here. And then, was it Sunday, Thursday, Sunday? And then Christmas, we're going to take Christmas off. We're going to enjoy family. We're going to see some friends, tell some lies, sell some truths, and hopefully play some new family games, man. Y'all know it. Look, You need a family friend. I got a coworker, Brazen, man. He be knowing all the family games. And then freaking Falcons just scored. Anyways, all right, y'all. For everybody, HBCU Digital Network, the Monday night show. Thank y'all all for watching. Our numbers were amazing this season. We'll definitely do that during basketball season a few times. You already know what's up. What's always going to be. Fangs Up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal.
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does!